What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all having a blessed day, and in today's video I'm talking to you about how to protect yourself from a nightmare landlord. If you are renting a house or apartment, you need to watch this video. So many shady stuff happens when you're renting properties, and that's gonna harm you and your families if you don't know about it. Now keep in mind, I'm a landlord, I was also a tenant, and I own multiple rental properties, so I know this from all perspectives. And I promise you, I'm a very nice landlord. I am not a slumlord, just putting it out there. But I do know slumlords, and I do know how they act, and I want to make sure you're protected. Now, as always, guys, if you get any value from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that free like button, and we're diving right in. Guys, I've seen some crazy stuff happening in the rental market for tenants, and it's wild out there. Crazy stuff like a landlord literally just walking into a house. Crazy stuff like a landlord not returning the security deposit. Crazy like a landlord not repairing the AC unit when it's so hot outside and he's out there chilling on the 40th floor enjoying his life. Some landlords, guys, are wild. Now, is it legal? That's for another discussion, but yes, it's done, sadly. Now, I want you to protect yourself as a tenant, which is why I got 5 things that you need to do and know to make sure that happens. Number 1, the landlord can't enter the property whenever they feel like it, and you need to know that. Landlords can't enter their own property, even if it's their own property, without giving prior notice to the tenant, because the tenant has obligations, but also they have rights. Now, in the contract, this is what I want you to pay attention to. It typically states in there what lead time the landlord has to give you as a tenant to come to the property and walk it. Is it 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours? How long is the notice period? And you can negotiate that if you want. Now, even though I know it's annoying that a landlord can come to the property within the written notice time, sometimes you're chilling, sometimes you don't want to clean up the house, sometimes you're not prepared, sometimes even 24 or 48 or 72 hour notice isn't enough. Even though that's annoying, it's just how it is. Landlords typically want to come to the property to inspect it, to walk it, to make sure everything is good. And there's some annoying landlords who want to come every single 2, 3, 4 weeks. So make sure you have stipulations in the lease that you're signing that they can come maybe once a month. Maybe they can only come for a certain emergency. Maybe they can come with a 72-hour written notice and you approving it. Make sure that it's written for something that makes you comfortable, because at the end of the day, it's your home and that's where you're living. Number 2, always ask the landlord or the property management to meet you in person prior to you giving them info or money. There are so many scams out there, guys, where people literally are renting out properties that aren't even theirs. And millions of people are falling for it, paying, giving their private info, and not realizing at the end they got no home. And they're planning their families, their move out dates, their lives around a fake person. I am not kidding you guys. People literally are listing properties they don't own, getting money from it, and then just disappearing. I've listed properties myself where the tenants or the people interested will message me, and out of nowhere they're sending checks and pay stubs and bank statements, and they're sending me money, and they're telling me where do I go and what do I do, and they're sending me their social and their driver's license. People, for some reason, are just so loose. They trust almost everyone. Now, I know they're doing this because they want to get into a space, but they gotta also understand there's scammers out there. So please, before you send money or give private info, meet with them in person. If they're sketchy or they make you feel some type of way or they don't want to meet, just back down. And remember one thing, guys, if the price is too good to be true and you're out there trying to make sure you get this property and they're telling you send us the money if you want us to give you the space, and we have a long list and a long line, and they're trying to make it seem urgent, if you see it's too good to be true, more than likely it is, especially in this market. It's wild out there. Prices are expensive. So if you see something cheap, triple guess it. And if they're not trying to meet, quadruple guess it. And please be careful. Tip number 3 is ask the landlord to walk the property with you and do a complete walkthrough on its condition. And what I want you to do when you're doing this walkthrough and check marking the damages, the good things, the problems, the not problems, make sure at the end you both sign off on it, because this is going to protect your security deposit, your hard-earned money that you're expecting to get back when you move out. It could be $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. That's a lot of money. And there are some shady landlords who literally love to have security deposit because that's what they live off of. They almost know for a guarantee they'll find something to use against you, and they'll try to take it from you any chance they get. If any of you had that experience or have experiences, bad experiences with landlords, please comment that below. We'd love to hear from you, learn from you, and talk about it. Now, landlords, for some reason, I don't know, this isn't me, but for some reason, they feel entitled to that security deposit because it's been in their bank for over a year. So when it's time to give it back, it's almost like they've spent it and they don't want to have to take it out from their personal bank account. So they try to find a problem in the property, even though there may be nothing. That's why walking it, being very specific, writing everything down, documenting it, and signing off on both sides will help protect your money. Remember, landlords, bad ones, at any time, they'll snatch up that security deposit anytime they get. So protect your money, please. Tip number 4 is please read your lease agreement. Don't just sign off on a lease that's 20-something pages because the landlord seems cool, chill, and you guys get along. Read it, understand it, and know the rules that are in it. Imagine on the lease that you didn't read said that the landlord can enter the property at any time. What are you gonna do? Now keep in mind there are laws, and I know that that might not be possible, but imagine the lease says that, and then the landlord tells you that it's like that, and then you just believe it. At the end of the day, you may not know all the laws and rules. What are you gonna do the day he tries to just walk in the property when the lease you signed says he's allowed to do that? What if the lease says on every single 3rd month you have to pay an extra $100 just for the heck of it, and you didn't read that, but now you gotta pay it? Imagine the lease says that the landlord can cancel the lease at any time with a 30-day written notice, and you're on your 2nd month for a 1-year lease and he sends that notice out because the lease said that and you signed off on it. Some landlords can be sneaky and throw this stuff in, and you gotta make sure you're reading this stuff. What if the lease says that you must maintain the plants and the grass, and he invested into the plants, therefore if you didn't and they died by the time you move out, he's now gonna use that against you to take your security deposit? Guys, this stuff can happen, and this stuff has happened to people. So make sure that you read the lease, because I've seen where leases literally stipulate that the owner doesn't have to fix a problem within a certain amount of days, and there's people in the house melting because the AC's not blowing and it's so hot in summer, and it's just wild. You gotta remember, guys, you're not lawyers, you're not attorneys, and more than likely you may not be connected with those, and if you are, you gotta pay for them. So please don't try to act like you can just sign off on a lease. Make sure you read it and understand it, and you do have the right to let a lawyer read it. You do have the right to talk to the owner, to the landlord, and ask him to walk you through it and explain it to you, and you do have the right to get a real estate agent like myself who can help you through that process. They're for free. Remember that. Take advantage of real estate agents. They're for free. The landlord would be paying their commissions, if any. And my number 5 tip to you is leaving a paper trail. From your lease to your rent payments to the fixes to the repairs to the issues to the emails to the text, all of it. Leave a paper trail. Show that you have documentation. Make a simple folder, put it on your phone, put it in your notes, save it in your email. Do all of that to protect yourself, because when the day comes, if it comes, and things go sideways, you're protected and you're solid. Having this will protect you from the landlords who try to become shady, dirty, or play you sideways. This will help no misunderstandings. This will show you're professional, and this will show that you know what you're doing and you're organized. So there you have it, guys. My 5 tips for all of you who are renting real estate, renting properties, to protect yourself from that nightmare landlord. Sadly, there are bad people out there. I want to make sure you're protected. I want to make sure you don't get taken advantage of. And I hope that my videos help you to always be ahead and to do well in life. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button. It's for free. And then subscribe. It's also for free if you enjoy this type of content. And share this with someone who may be renting or is going to rent so you can give them value. Thank you all so much for watching. And for right now, I'm out.